And just like that, it's the next week, March 20th, 2025. Another day in crypto paradise. Glad you're here with me, Carolina Keith, regular Keith, Professor Keith, just Keith. I hate Keith. I don't like Keith that much. Keith's all right. I can't stand Keith. Nonetheless, just Keith's cool with me. I hope you're ready to go through some stuff. We got some charts to talk about. Things might be improving. You guys saw the thumbnail. You know I don't do clickbait. Let's get off into it, shall we? And we shall. If you haven't done so, let me drop some stuff off real quick. No live show, no thumbnail, camera on. If you haven't done so, please go hit like. If you're watching the video on watching, follow along with us, go hit like. If you're on X, hit the heart. Right? That's how we like posts on X. If you're on Rumble, go give it a like. Also, follow along if you're on X. Follow along if you're on Rumble. And follow along by subscribing if you're over on the YouTubes. You guys know we don't do a lot of YouTube stuff anymore. For good reason, though. But, hey, the show must go on, right? That's what they say. And be honest with you, I think they're right. You know what I'm saying? I think they're right. The show goes on, ain't nothing you can do about it.
Damn.
So just pick it up and keep on moving. You know what I'm saying? I think you know what I'm saying. Let me check and make sure all of our streams are working good here. I think we're good to go. Let's give her a whirl around the horn here. And look, looks like WAP's running. I was like, WAP. Looks like Rumble's running. Looks like YouTube is running. Looks like X is... Let's see. Give it a second. Let it load. Pending. It's a running. Hey. Oh. I'm getting feedback. Hang on. Second. Let it load. Pending. I can hear myself. And then I'm going away. I fixed it. So it might talk and echo for a couple more seconds. It'll stop. Now, I'm going to go through a little something, what we call our assassin system here. I haven't gone through them in a bunch recently because things have just been so bad and there's really been no reason to, but we're going to go through this step by step, bit by bit here so you can kind of understand what we're looking for. Over at the 786 Assassins, we don't do anything without being a little bit calculated, all right? Whether we're buying or we're selling, there's always a calculation that goes into it of how much risk am I going to have? How much reward is this going to be? Is this a good idea? Is this not such a good idea? What am I walking myself into, right? So we go by no emotions, only facts and data. What happens a lot of times is when you bring emotions in, you start to change the way the data looks. And one thing we never want to do is we never ever want to change the data. You always want to respect the data. Listen to the data and don't be arguing with it. Because if you're arguing with the data, you're an idiot. Arguing with the data gets you absolutely nowhere and makes you
Wrong.
So don't argue with the data. All right?
What the hell is even that?
Exactly. Why would you argue with facts? You can't. Now, you can have an opinion about it, but that would be a subjective opinion, your feelings, right? We don't want any feelings. We want straight, hard facts and data. So I've got Bitcoin on the chart. We always go through Bitcoin first. We're going to talk about it here for the next little bit. We'll shift into altcoins here at the second half of our stream. First 30 minutes on YouTube, and then we move away from YouTube and just strictly over on X and Rumble, which are also running right now. If you're watching over there, it's fine. Stay there. If you're watching on YouTube, only 30 minutes will be here. Then we'll switch over to X and over to Rumble. Carolina Keith _1 on both of those is what it is. You know that. Carolina Keith _1 is where my handles are everywhere. So, number one, we want to see for buys, we want to see clear-cut buy signals. We want to see something that lets us know, okay, low risk, higher reward, what should I do? We're going to start off by being on the daily chart, as you see up here, daily chart. You can go all the way back to monthly or weekly if you want to do this, but for the example, I'm using the daily. We want to see first, one of the first indicators I use is called the 821 EMA. You've seen me talk about it a bunch. What I'm looking for here is check marks. And by check marks, I mean positive signals. When I see a positive signal, that's a check mark and it's getting a green check mark on the screen. All right. I've got little emojis right here. I'll be happy to put them on the screen when I get a green check mark. Okay. I'll need positive signals based on technical analysis. talked to someone today and we had a really good conversation. And after talking to them and talking to some other people, they're all doing the same thing, just sitting on the sidelines with their money, waiting, deciding what to do until they find the right time to buy and sell. That's a great idea. Question: when is the right time to buy and sell? That's where we come in. That's where the charts scream loudest. The data is the truth, and you can't argue with the truth. You must admit it. You must bow down to the facts and deal with it. Cool. So let's use that data to come up with an answer, good or bad, and make a decision. Okay? Okay, cool. Let's do it. So first things first, 821 EMA. My standard rules of the 821 EMA go as such. 3 points. I need 2 closes in a row, consecutively, back to back, above the 8 EMA. The 8 EMA is the green line that you see right here. I can drop the candles off so you can see it a little better for a second. There we go. 8 EMA is in green, and the purple line is the 21 EMA. You're going to ask yourself, well, why are they green? Why are they purple? This is simple. Green for money, green for buy. When I get 2 candles consecutively closed over the 8 EMA, that is 1 check mark for me to go, hey, I might have a buy signal here. It's green, buy. Get it? Cool. 21 EMA is purple. You see it on the screen right there. Why purple? Well, simply put, purple was my ex-wife's favorite color, and I can't stand that woman. So whenever I see purple, I know good and well, maybe, maybe not. Probably not. Let's think about this. Better make sure about that first. For you fellas that are married or divorced, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Bruh.
I'm telling you what. So, hey, let's make sure what we're looking at before we look at it, okay? So, 8 EMA, green, 21 EMA, purple. That's real facts too, by the way. All right, so I got 2 candles closed over the 8 EMA in a row right here. It just happened yesterday. Barely. But it just happened yesterday. One right here, this nice green candle that came in post FOMC. Again, nothing changed on the FOMC, so we're not going to go blaming that. Nothing changed. But we got a green candle over the 8 EMA. Excellent. 2 in a row. Good. Right here's the second one. That red candle closed above the green line. Barely. But it did it. It did it. Cool. That's my first marker. Second marker. I want to see an 821 cross. I want to see the 821 cross and flip north. What do I have right now? I want to see the green over top of the purple. What do we have? We have purple over top of green. It ain't good enough for me. I'm sorry. It's just not good enough for me. I need to see this cross happen because this cross happening right here gives me much more confluence of what I need to see. So first, I did have 2 candles over the 8 EMA. Excellent. I do not have a green over purple situation, so I do not have a cross. And my last bit would be, do I have 2 candles over the 21 EMA? No, I do not. I don't even have 1 yet. Yesterday, immediately rejected. So we're right back to square one. So out of 3 things possible, I have 1 good signal. 1 out of 3 so far. We're hitting 33%. That's not good enough, folks. All right, cool. So on to the next stuff. Simple stuff. I'll go to the RSI next. Is the RSI oversold? It was. Okay, cool. So that's in the right direction for me. Do I have a good trend on the RSI? Is it trending up? It kind of is. Cool. Is it over 50? No, it's at 46. Is it over 40? Yeah, it is. So it's over 40, but under 50. It's kind of in the middle, kind of nominal. So unfortunately, this one's no help at all. All right. It is trending up, but it's still stuck in the dead center of nominal trading. That doesn't help us at all. So we're 1 out of 4. That's 25% for you guys keeping change at home. And I didn't say stats. I said keeping change. All right. You'll understand it one day. All right, cool. So MACD. What do I need to see for MACD? I want to see the blue over the orange. Well, hey, that's exactly what I've got. Very cool. Good deal. I would like it to be above the midline. It very much is not. Right here's the midline, and that heifer is way down here is where you would want it to be over that midline. Not a ton of help here. Trending up. That's good. As you see, we have plenty of buy volume coming in. Even yesterday on a red day, we had more buyers than sellers overall. Okay. As noted by the volume there. Cool. Baby steps. Things are maybe getting better. But till I see this get all the way up here near this midline, which it is nowhere near, as you can see, this is still kind of nominal and not a ton of help for me. I do like the cross down here. That's better than nothing, but I need this way closer to the midline, and it's nowhere near there yet. All right, so really no help from the MACD. 1 out of 5, if you want to call it that. That's not a ton of confluence, is it, folks? Nah, it ain't. Okay, so next up, we can go to our regular moving averages, our 50 moving average, 100 moving average, and 200 moving average. All right, cool. I need to see over all 3 of these. Not great. We're over none of them. We're under the 200 moving average still. That's not great. We're under the 50-day moving average. That's not great. We're under the 100-day moving average. Not great. Still some improvement though, right? We're trying to fight that 200 moving average. I've told you about this before. That 200 moving average acts like a magnet. When the price hits that magnet, it has a hard time getting away from it. Now, once it does get away from it, it tends to move aggressively. Problem. That bitch ain't moved away from it. You can see it right there on the screen. She's still stuck like mud, right? Till then, we must wait. Now, that was no help for us. So what about the Ichimoku cloud? Well, I'm glad you asked. All right, good deal. So I need 4 different things for the Ichimoku cloud here. I would like to see, let me move my 1 check mark out of the way that I have. I'd like to see a green cloud on the end. Well, guess what, folks? That heifer ain't green, it's red. Well, that's 1X. I'd like to see the conversion line, which is the blue line. I'd like to see it over the baseline, which is the red line. Guess what? That's a no from me, big dog. I'd like to see the lag line, which is the white line back here. In case you don't know what the lag line is, it's the candles in line form instead of candles, puts it into a line, moves it back 27 spaces. I'd like to see that line above the candles. Is it above the candles? Survey said. Sorry, it's not. Sucks, huh? Oh well, keep going. Is the price above the cloud? That's number 4. Is the price above the cloud? It's not. Well, here we are. So nothing there, no help there. What about the pivot points? Pivot points are kind of predetermined support and resistance based lines along the chart as it flows along. It's also based on Fibonacci levels a little bit, and you'll see that in the resets that it does every time a new pivot set comes out. As you see right here, last one was at 100. This one was at 88. Not great. We're trending down. We want to see that shit trending up. So no help yet. We have 11 more days, actually 10 more days for this thing to get back up over this pivot line to start an upward trend in the pivots moving north rather than south. Okay, all these things need to switch over and start fixing themselves. They just haven't yet. All right, unfortunately, par for the course. Not much help there, huh? Sorry. All right, so what about the Bollinger Bands? We talked about those a couple weeks ago. For these Bollinger Bands to be what we want, we would like to see the candles over the midline. Is the candles over the midline? Sorry, bro. It's a no. Well, that sucks. So, again, no help there. Sorry. So now, what? Well, we need to wait on these Bollinger Bands to start pinching down a little bit more. And as you see, they're starting to go sideways and kind of get narrow again. This means volatility is coming in. This means we're going to get some more of this snappy price action coming up soon, one way or another. Now, last time, I'll offer you this. Be careful. Look what happened last time these bands got super narrow. and it was not over the midline. Straight down. You actually see where the candles broke on the bottom side of the Bollinger Bands, and that's just very bearish when that happens. Comes back up, tries to get over that midline, fails. That was that Sunday morning push, which never happens, which is an anomaly, which immediately got erased. And then after that, she kind of stayed under the midline, back down to the bottom of the Bollinger Bands, but never really got back out of them. Good. Nominal trading starts back again, and we get nominal and we get flat. So what needs to happen next? We need to jump this midline, get back on the good side of the Bollinger Bands. So we're not going to be stuck sitting here waiting on this thing to fall more. Now, I know that sucks to hear, but it is the way it is. That's just the way it works. Now, let me go say hey to everybody in the chat real quick, and then we'll keep going. What's up, Poochie? Good to see you. FML, Florida Man Landscape, and he said, one of your own just launched a utility coin on via the XRPL. Hell yeah, dude. Congratulations. Justin Wynn said, Florida Man, I like that shit, especially as a fan of a Florida Man in general and a Florida Man of wholesale nursery as well. Growing up in the industry, good times. Nice, brother. What's up, Kev? Good to see you. Drop likes. Yeah, by the way, y'all guys, go hit the like button, man. This is free. We do this shit for free. We just want people to win. We want people to do better. All right? That's it. I want you to make more money than you did before. I want you to not be a brokey for the rest of your life. I want you to be able to walk into a room and everybody look at you and go, damn. All right? Because that shit matters. You don't think it matters right now, but it matters. You'll understand it when you have that money and you have that moment. I had that moment a couple times already. I'm telling you, it's something else. It changes you. It really does. Gives you something to push forward to. You know what I'm saying? Florida Man says, it's all about business and the Florida vibe. Thank you for the kind words. Everybody knows what FML typically means in the zeitgeist. We're changing that to Web3 commerce, hashtag FML. All right, brother. What's up, Zay? What's up, bro? Good to see you, my friend. Brand Full, how are you doing? What's up, Cheese? Good to see you. What's up, Nick? Bill Childers. O'Leary, how you doing, brother? Where y'all watching from? Y'all drop in the comments and tell me where you're watching from. Darren Sargo, what's up, brother? Good to see you. All right, let's go check out Rumble. Phonetic Duck, how you doing, brother? Jared Cut Up. I can't say it right. Good to see you, brother. Thank you for being on here. Phonetic Duck. Soda, good to see you, brother. Cody Kensel, how you doing? What's up, Nomad? Good to see you, brother. What's up, Stifler? Soda said very clear, love it. What's up, Supercharger Heaven? Good to see you back, brother. All right, let's jump over on X. See if we got any comments over there. We don't get a lot. My cousin Jeremy's the only one that's commented so far. If you're watching on X, if you're watching on Rumble, if you're watching on YouTube, jump in the comments. Let me know where you're watching from, brother. And the next half of this video, from 11:30 to 12 p.m., we're going to go over the entire top 25 coin list from top to bottom. We'll do an analysis on all of them, get a look at what's going on, see if we can't get a grip on what the market's about to do. Cool? Cool. I'm not going to do that on YouTube, though, because ain't nobody going to come at me no more. So we'll just stick to Bitcoin for YouTube, and we'll just stick to the TA for YouTube. Simple stuff. And we'll jump over to X and Rumble. We'll get a little deeper and get off into them altcoins. Now, one thing I didn't mention, I need to see a trend break. You guys can clearly tell that this is downtrending. Why do I say that? Not just because of the way it looks, but because of the structure. We had a high, we had a low, we had a lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. We're going to get a lower low? Or are we going to buck that trend? Are we going to finally change things here and push up here and work for that higher high? Well, I'm not positive on that. I'm not sold on that. What I will do is go around the horn here a little bit and show you that if I go to some other ones like Binance, oh, where did I have this other chart drawn? Let me see. Might be Bitstamp. Yeah. All right, so I got it drawn on Bitstamp here. Cool. So as you see, we're driving dead square to the right in this big wedge that we've got. And if you don't know where this wedge starts from, it starts all the way back to 2023. You see that? Touch, 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 touch. It's actually pretty nice, isn't it? Right. So big wedge forming. In my opinion, if we fail this wedge down to the bottom side, not great. We really, really, really need to see this line hold, this bottom red line. It really, really needs to hold, all right? As you see, price is just running headlong into this wedge. What do we get? Do we get consolidation for the next several days, squeezing down into one tiny little corner with a breakout to the south or a breakout to the north? Kind of what I think is going to happen. Bollinger Bands help me see that a little bit better. As you see, there's our wedge drawn. There's our overlay with the Bollinger Bands in there. And remember, we're looking for Bollinger Bands to pinch in tight. When these Bollinger Bands pinch in tight, they're going to show us volatility is coming in. We need volatility to come in. Not only do we need volatility to come in, but we need it to go in the right direction. Let's not forget that part, okay? We need that shit to go up, not down. I don't know how much more down the crypto market can take for what it's worth, all right? Shit's been getting dick punched hard for weeks and weeks and weeks now. Go look at any altcoin. They're down 70, 80, even 90%. It's really wild. No real explanation for why. You know, I've talked to a bunch of really rich people in the last couple of weeks to try to get a grip of what's going on. They don't talk to me about crypto because crypto really isn't their thing. They're more TradeFi guys and Forex guys. But even they said the same thing, man. Market's been really, really weird. We didn't see this coming. We lost a lot of money, which made me feel better knowing that I lost money too. I didn't feel so bad that other people who were way more wealthy than me lost a percentage similar to what I lost. So I was like, all right, that sucks, but man, could that shit have been worse? You know what I'm saying? How much worse could that have been? Good news is this wedge runs out in the middle of March. Middle April. April 15th is the point of this wedge here. As you see, right there. It says 17, but I really think it's 15. If you go down the linear mode, you'll see what I'm talking about. Also, I think if I draw another little trend line here from this point, catching these wicks, as you see, that's pretty darn close to lining up. And if I grab it down here and pull it this way, that might be a breakout, but I don't know yet. And it's a little bit subjective and I don't want to go there. What I will say is I've got some pretty good touches here. And I got to thinking, well, if it looks like this, what does the CME chart look like? Because we don't talk about the CME chart enough. Here's Bitcoin CME. What does that stand for? Chicago Mercantile Exchange. This is one of the only 3 cryptos that are publicly traded. And it's 3 now, no longer 2, because Solana was added just the other day. Solana also has its own CME chart. It's new and fresh. It's not that important right now, but it will become important later, all right? 3 clean touches on the CME chart here. Good news, it's slightly different than the regular chart. We're just about to get that 5100 cross. We should get price action respecting that and come back. Doesn't have to. Or we get continuously smashed down by this downtrend run here, and we make another dive toward the 200 moving average, which you can see down here, will kind of close off that trend line. All right. This is why I think we get a break north. This thing has gotten battered so bad that I'm not sure it can continue getting battered much worse and continue to hold water. Also, if you notice right through here, I have a fib time zone line drawn right there, which kind of gives me a sequence of events in a timeline. That should be an important time. That's April 7th, the first week of April. They're not perfect. They just kind of gives us an area of where price action may have some important things going on. The first week of April may be the time when things really start to go. And the whole purpose of the thumbnail of the video that you saw was the crypto bulls are back, round 2. After talking to people who have a lot more money in this than me, they're not sitting back waiting to run away and not put money. Everybody I talk to is money ready to go to put back in the market. Let me explain that, folks. All of these people have money ready to put back into the market, not to run away. They're just trying to find the right time. They came to me asking me about the charts. I asked them about what they had. We're able to network back and forth, which is really cool. I can't explain to you how good it is to have a group of people to be able to network with whenever you're not sure what the hell is going on and you need answers and you're not sure. Brother, go ask someone who can help you. And we can help you with that. WAP.com/team786. $16 a month. First month free. It's the cost of a Starbucks coffee with some sugar on and whipped cream on top of that bitch. One time a month. Come on, man. It's not that much money. And if you do the yearly, you get even more off. You get 2 months for free. You pay $160 for the year, you get 2 months for free. And you get a free 30-minute consult, one-on-one with me. Can talk about anything you want to talk about. You get questions on charts, you want answers. Go check it out, man. WAP.com/team786. Your choice, bro. Why not? What you got to lose? First month's free. All right. So either way, it was nice having people to talk to about this and learn that they're not running away. They're just picking their punches here. All right. They're just sitting back on their back foot, trying to counterpunch. And I'm cool with that. Just got to wait it out. Okay. Just got to wait it out. This sucks. I hate waiting. For someone like me who's borderline autistic, got ADHD and shit, I hate being told I have to sit and wait. Idle hands do the devil's work, man. My mama told me that shit from when I was a little kid, right? Idle hands do the devil's work. I got nothing to do but wait. It sucks. So I even started live trading again over in the Discord, running futures. I made 13% on a trade this morning. That was worth 57 cents.
Bloody fuck you, bloody!
I know, right?
Gotcha, bitch.
13 whole cents. 57 cents, sorry. But it was more so the point. More so it was just me charting, showing you how it works, showing you how easy it is it can be, and you don't have to stress over this stuff so much. I only put $100 over in the futures wallet, and I think I did $4 out of the 100. A $4 trade made me 50-something cent. Not a bad deal if you think about it. It was actually a 2-to-1 trade. After leverage, right? It was like 2-to-1. So as you see, the indicators are slightly different on CME, but not too much different. Everything else is pretty much going to look similar. And for the first time, the 8 EMA looks very similar between CME and regular Bitcoin, as you see right there. CME chart sitting right on top of the 8 EMA. Regular Bitcoin chart sitting right on top of the 8 EMA. Now, the difference is the 200. You can see that right there. Okay. CME, we're over the 200. Regular Bitcoin, we're under the 200. What's that going to mean for the future? Brother, I'm a little pressed to learn myself. I'm not sure. I'm trying to take it easy and not overreact to this stuff, Trying not to do too much. Trying to tiptoe into some stuff. But things are getting better. Sean Shepard, what's up, brother? Is that Rockstar? I think it is. Justin Wynn says, buy the dip. It's what winners do. You can only buy the dip during an uptrend. Never buy the dip during a downtrend. All that does is cost you money. You don't want to start costing yourself money. So we got a couple more minutes left. He said, Supercharger heaven. All right, Llama911Z, I think that might be Rogue, says, and now on Rumble. Love it. Nice, brother. Good to see you. Supercharger Heaven says, how did ETH reclaim 2K region? We'll talk about that next on Rumble and X instead of YouTube. How is BTC Ichimoku? It looks terrible. Went over that a second ago. It's not great. It's 4 out of 4 no's. And because it's 4 out of 4 no's, ain't nothing to do. Last thing you can look at, CME chart, same indicators, MACD and RSI, no help. Bitcoin dominance is the last thing we'll talk about before we go over to X and Rumble. All right. So, as you note, Bitcoin dominance continues to make higher highs and higher lows all the way up. Refuses to fail. Even now, this little pattern it's doing right here is very sketchy to me. And what I mean is sketchy in the wrong direction. She's trying to fail the 821 EMA. Do you see that? 2 closes under the 21 EMA, and it's time for Keith to go. It hasn't happened yet. 1 and then back over. 1 and then back over. It's playing games up here up at the top. 50 moving average is rapidly approaching. It hasn't failed that 50-day moving average since January 2nd. In my opinion, it's due. That being said, this bitch can hit that 50 moving average and keep on going. It's fully plausible. I don't know where the top is for this necessarily, but the wick up here to 786 gives me a hint. It could continue to wick chase. As you see, it's trying to make a lower high for the first time in a long time. Hasn't done it yet. Unfortunately, Bitcoin dominance is still going. This heifer is still running the market. As crazy as that may be, it's just the way it is. So, baby steps. I'm not sure what's going to happen with Bitcoin dominance, but until this thing gets on the other side of that white trend line right there, ain't no alt markets. That's just all there is to it. You need Bitcoin to give the money to altcoins. New money doesn't rush in to all kind of crazy altcoins. I know y'all think it does because of meme coins and stuff. Not the case. It's not the case. Okay. Let's be a little bit smarter and a little bit more methodical about this stuff. All right. That's why we do these charts on YouTube, why we do them on X, why we do them on Rumble. That's 30 minutes on YouTube. We're going to jump off of YouTube and we're going to go over to X and Rumble exclusivity style. I said that wrong at first, but I tried to save that shit. Nonetheless, thank y'all for watching over on YouTube. I appreciate it. See you guys over on X and Rumble now. Oh, to the right. All right.